Friends, lack is not real. It is but a shadow, a lie of the mortal mind. The only truth is abundance, and abundance is your divine inheritance. When you live in fear of lack, you deny your own divinity. You agree with the enemy of your soul. But when you align your words with the infinite, the universe itself must obey. I stand before you to remind you that you are not a beggar, not a struggler, not a creature cast adrift. You are a child of God, endowed with power to speak, and your words shape your world. Speak lack, and lack appears. Speak abundance, and abundance rushes to meet you. The tongue is a mighty wand, and when wielded with faith, it commands the invisible forces of supply. There is a phrase, simple yet radiant, that holds the key to turning the tide. When spoken with conviction, it strikes down fear and opens the floodgates of provision. Speak it 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, and watch how quickly the desert becomes a garden. 1. The law of supply obeys the word. The universe is not deaf. The universe is not blind. It is attentive to every vibration you send forth, and your word is its signal. The law of supply is perfect, and it cannot be mocked. If you say, "I never have enough," the law answers, "So be it." If you say, "My needs are met before I even ask," the law replies, "So it is." Do not imagine you can fool the law by words half-hearted, muttered without faith. The law responds to vibration, and your words carry vibration only when charged with feeling. That is why the phrase must be spoken 3 times a day, not as a lifeless ritual, but as a declaration of truth. Each repetition plants the seed deeper into the soil of the subconscious, and soon the roots of abundance push forth into visible form. You cannot outgive God. The storehouse of heaven is inexhaustible. The great river of supply is never dammed up, except by the stones of fear, doubt, and complaint. When you speak the words of abundance, you roll away the stone. The river flows again, and everything you need is swept to your door. So friends, never say, "I can't afford it." That phrase is a curse against your own life. Instead, speak this truth: I walk in abundance. God is my endless supply, and all that is mine by divine right now flows to me with ease and perfect timing. Say it in the morning as you rise, for then you set the tone of your day. Say it at noon when the mind is tempted by worry, and you strengthen your faith. Say it at night before sleep, that your subconscious may labor through the dark hours to produce miracles on your behalf. 3 times a day, like the beating of a drum, and soon lack will vanish like mist before the sun. Section 2. Casting out the spirit of poverty. Poverty is not a condition of the purse, it is a condition of the mind. A man may have thousands in his bank account and still live under the lash of poverty, fearful of losing what he has. Another may have nothing but a loaf of bread and a song, and yet radiate the wealth of heaven. For true riches come not from money, but from consciousness. The spirit of poverty whispers, "You must hold back, you must hoard, you must fear tomorrow." But Christ taught, "Take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink." He knew that faith is the key that unlocks the treasury of the infinite. When you speak the words of abundance, you cast out the spirit of poverty, you break its spell. You no longer walk with the beggar's cup, but with the king's authority. You no longer ask, "How will I get by?" You declare, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And the universe answers. New channels open, unexpected doors swing wide, money flows, opportunities appear, friends assist, health strengthens, joy increases. The phrase is not magic, it is alignment. It tunes you to the frequency of plenty, and plenty responds. Friends, never forget, your word is your wand. Each time you speak the declaration of supply, you swing that wand, striking down the illusion of lack, and summoning forth the reality of abundance. Lack cannot dwell where truth is spoken. Darkness cannot remain where light shines. So walk in courage, speak boldly, declare your supply 3 times a day, and watch how swiftly lack disappears forever. For the universe must obey the voice of one who knows their divine right to prosper. The final declaration of abundance. Friends, if there is one truth I would write upon your hearts this very hour, it is this: lack has no power over you. Lack is not a law, it is a law. Poverty, want, fear of tomorrow, these are shadows of the false mind, and shadows have no substance once the light of truth shines upon them. The world teaches you to toil, to grasp, to compete, to say there is not enough for, but heaven declares, the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. If all belongs to God, and you are God's beloved child, then all belongs also to you by divine inheritance. To doubt this truth is to step out of your birthright and wander as a stranger in your Father's house. You must remember, your word is your wand, your tongue is your scepter. By it, you write the script of your life. Every declaration you make is a command to the unseen forces. If you speak words of fear, the universe must bend to shape them into experience. If you speak words of faith, the universe is compelled to draw the supply that already exists in spirit into visible form. When you say 3 times a day, with conviction, I walk in abundance, God is my endless supply, and all that is mine by divine right now flows to me with ease and perfect timing. You are not pleading, you are not begging, you are commanding. You are exercising dominion as a spiritual being. Let me tell you, I have watched this law work again and again. I have seen people bound in the chains of want, suddenly lifted into freedom by the simple, steadfast use of the spoken word. A woman once came to me, trembling, saying, Florence, I cannot pay my rent. I have exhausted all means. I told her, stop looking at means, start looking at supply. Gave her the very affirmation I now give you. She spoke it 3 times daily, as one hammer striking a nail, until it is driven in deep. Within a week, unexpected channels opened. Money arrived from a forgotten account, work was offered, and her needs were met in full. Friends, lack is only a belief held long enough that it seems real, but beliefs can be dissolved, and truth can take their place. When you repeat the declaration of abundance, you are not merely reciting words, you are rewiring the very structure of your mind. You are pulling down the stronghold of fear and building the temple of faith. Each word you speak engraves itself upon the subconscious, and the subconscious obeys without argument. What is planted there must sprout, must bloom, must bear fruit in your outer world. You may say, Florence, I have spoken words before, and nothing happened. I answer you, did you speak with authority, or did you mutter with doubt? Did you sow your seed in faith, or did you dig it up with words? The farmer does not scatter his seed at sunrise, and then claw at the soil by sunset, crying, why has nothing appeared? He knows that beneath the surface, life is stirring, roots are stretching, and in due season the harvest must come. So it is with your words. Speak, and know, declare, and stand firm. Repeat your truth 3 times daily, and refuse to be shaken by appearances. For appearances are liars. They are mirages in the desert of fear. The substance is invisible, but the invisible is more real than the seen. For the unseen is eternal. I tell you again, never say, I cannot afford it. That phrase locks the door to your good. Instead say, there is no lack in divine mind. What I need is already mine, and it comes to me now in perfect ways. You shift the entire current of your life when you choose your words with wisdom. Let us speak of the spirit of poverty, for it clings to many. Poverty is not in the purse, it is in the heart. It is not the absence of money, but the presence of fear. I have known millionaires who trembled at the thought of loss. They lived poorer than the pauper who sang for his supper. True riches are not counted in coins, but in consciousness. When you dwell in the rich consciousness, supply must flow to you, for outer conditions always mirror the inner state. You cast out the spirit of poverty, not by effort, not by anxious striving, but by the authority of your word. Each time you speak your affirmation of abundance, you drive that spirit further from your life. Each time you declare God as your supply, you affirm your oneness with the source. And oneness with the source brings forth the stream. And how swiftly it comes. Doors you never thought to knock upon will open. Sources you never imagined will appear. Money, opportunity, friendships, ideas, all will rush to serve you when you stand as master of your word. Do not ask how it will come. That is God's business. Your business is to speak the truth and hold to it. The how is not yours to manage. It is the divine arrangement of the universe. Think of it as electricity. You do not ask how the current travels through the wires, nor how the bulb glows. You simply press the switch, and the light appears. The law is already established. In the same way, your spoken word presses the switch of supply, and the light of abundance shines. Friends, I would have you live in the freedom of this truth. No longer slaves to fear, no longer captives of want, but children of the King, walking with dignity, living in ease, giving with glad hearts. For what good is abundance if it is not shared? The ocean gives without measure, the sun shines without payment, the flowers bloom without charge. So must your life become a channel of giving and receiving. When supply flows to you, let it also flow through you. Give freely, and more shall be given unto you. Hoard in fear, and even what you clutch shall wither. For the law is circulation, not stagnation. To dam the river is to destroy it. To let it flow is to keep it fresh. So as you speak your 3 daily declarations, also live them. Give when guided, share with joy, and know that nothing given in love is ever lost. Hear me well. Abundance is not coming. It is already here. You do not have to chase it. You need only align with it. Your declaration is not a cry for help, but a song of recognition. When you speak, God is my endless supply, you awaken to what has been true all along. So let this be your practice. Morning, noon, and night. Speak your word of supply. Speak it as one who knows, not as one who hopes. Speak it with joy, with confidence, with unwavering faith. Speak until the vibration of abundance hums in your bones. Speak until lack becomes unthinkable, a shadow forgotten, until your world glows with the evidence of the truth you have declared. Friends, the universe is listening. The law is waiting. The treasure house of heaven stands open. All that is yours by divine right longs to rush into your hands. But the key is your word. Use it well. Use it daily. Use it faithfully. And I promise you, lack shall vanish, want shall dissolve, poverty shall flee, and you will walk in the garden of plenty, forever provided for, forever secure, forever free. That is the power of the spoken word. That is the law of abundance. That is your divine right.